Hi, guys.
Hey, welcome back.
This is episode 6, which is crazy. And today we have a very special episode because me and Enzo just went to the Eras Tour, Atlanta Night 1. And we also have a guest. This is our first official guest on the podcast, which is really exciting. My friend Lily Jacobson from SCAD. She was my suite mate last year. And she's also a huge Swiftie. So, of course, we had to have her on this episode.
Hey guys, I'm honestly so honored to be on this podcast. It's been my dream to be on any podcast, so I'm super excited to be here.
Yay!
Should we go ahead and start off with our icebreakers then?
Yeah, well, I'll do an icebreaker, but Lily's gonna give us the icebreaker question because we figured it would be fun to have the guest give us the question to kind of change it up a little bit.
So, the camp question of today's podcast is, what is your favorite Taylor era?
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Okay. Hi, I'm Enzo. I'm 16. That's the first time I can say that without having to be like, well, I just turned 16, whatever. And then my favorite Taylor era.
Wait, is this the first one where you're actually 16?
This is the first one where I'm actually 16.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
I remember those days.
Literally. I'm just kidding. My favorite Taylor era is either Reputation or Folklore Evermore, like one of those pandemic moments.
Okay, I'll go now. My name's Anna. I'm 20 years old, and my favorite Taylor Swift era is probably Folklore. I also really like Fearless as an album, but I wasn't there for the launch of the Fearless album, because I was probably 7 years old or something. But I just really like the aesthetic of Folklore and the nature vibe because that was at a time when I was outside a lot during COVID, and it just was very fitting for the time, I feel like.
I'm Lily and I'm 20. My favorite era is Reputation because that was when I fully became a diehard Swiftie.
Yeah, me too.
And I just didn't understand why people hated her. And I just loved that she was like, I'm back.
Yeah, I really liked that era too, just because that's when that was the very first era where I actually stayed up late to listen to the new singles. Sorry, I had a thing in my throat. That was when I would first stay up late to listen to the new stuff and watch all the music videos and all that.
When Look What You Made Me Do came out, the music video, the earth moved.
Yeah, I still listen to Reputation songs and it immediately makes me feel like a bad bitch.
Yeah, I remember when the Look What You Made Me Do lyric video came out, and I was freaking out. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I also just love that style of the motion graphics. And I remember just coming home from school and watching it, and then showing it to everyone in my family and making everyone watch it.
So good.
Yeah. So, by the way, we do need to shout out our Instagram. Wait, why do I always forget what our Instagram is?
At the Telepathy Pod. I feel like it's a pretty memorable name.
No, but I always forget if it's just Telepathy Pod, or I think you need to do the social media shout outs because every time I ask you what it is.
Where are my headphones? My headphones are always falling off. I'm ow. I hit my head on the bed.
What are these noises?
I don't know what's going on right now, but I
died
can't
for a
tell.
second. I hit my head on the bed frame and then my headphones fell off. Anyways, so follow at the Telepathy Pod, which is our Instagram. That's also our TikTok and our YouTube handle. So go subscribe and follow those things. And then our personal YouTube channels mine's Enzo Antonio, and then yours is.
Mine's Anna Katherine. And then also if you want to check out Lily, or at least just see what she looks like so that you can put a face to the voice.
Where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm not as popular as you guys on the socials, but Lily Jacobson 6.
On Instagram. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do we do the music TV shout out first or the week recap?
I don't know. I think first we should remind you guys to, if you're listening on Spotify, definitely go to the Q&A feature on the little play page or whatever, and then type your favorite Taylor Swift era. Just had to put that up there.
Let's do a week recap first. So, I mean, obviously part of this entire episode is about how we went to the Eras tour, so we'll get into that. So yeah, we went to Atlanta for that. I mean, the rest of the week before that was just like me frantically trying to get all my homework done for the weekend before I went to Atlanta, and then me frantically getting my homework done after I got back from Atlanta. So,
And just to be clear, I did not go to the Atlanta tour with them
yeah.
or the Atlanta show, but I am going in June in Pittsburgh, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, but
It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for you.
yeah, what about your week, Enzo?
Okay, so this morning I actually took the AP exam, which was my first one ever
Yay.
because like I'm a sophomore. And honestly, I can't even think about the actual test itself. The only thing I can think about is like that it's over. Like I'm so relieved.
Wait, was it online?
No,
Oh,
it was in
okay.
person.
I thought so, but like for some reason I also just thought it was online. But anyways, and it was your birthday.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday last week. I almost forgot like when the last time we recorded was and how much amount of time I have to fill you
It
in
feels
for.
so long since we last recorded.
I know. I feel like I should talk about the Georgia effect, is what I've decided to call it, which is every time I enter the state of Georgia, I get sick. You can probably tell, like, in my voice because I like literally have a cold right now. But okay, so when I went to visit Anna in September, I came back and then I got sick. And then when we saw Declan McKenna back in October, I literally got like deathly ill after that and then got like laryngitis. And then after I
That's
came
why
home
you
for
couldn't
Taylor's,
see Lizzo, right?
yes, oh my gosh, that was horrible. And then this time we went to Atlanta for Taylor Swift. I came back and then I had a fever yesterday, but thankfully it's gone now. So I was able to take the test and stuff because I was not about to have to like make up the exam and do all of that.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully I don't get sick now since I was like in the car with you, but I also think I was already sick last week, so I'm hoping that maybe it was just the same thing.
I don't think it was Taylor Swift related because I literally started feeling sick like
Yeah.
the morning after.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm also sick. I woke up with a cold this morning, basically.
Okay, music/TV shout out.
Wait, Lily, did you do a week recap? Why could I not
Oh,
talk today?
right.
Oh no. My week recap, just honestly kind of trying to survive
True.
lately. going through a little bit of a tough time. But Taylor's always there for me, and honestly I'm thankful for that because all of these songs that I didn't relate to before, I can now relate to them, which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taylor, for existing.
And getting broken up with so many times so that her fans can relate.
Wait, how many songs does she have total?
A lot.
Wait, we should all guess and then I'll look it up and then whoever wins just
Okay,
wins.
237.
Okay, I'm gonna guess 136 because that's what like popped into my brain, and sometimes I feel like I'm a psychic.
Sometimes I feel like I'm a psychic, real.
Are we talking about songs that are like unreleased? Or just on albums? Or like singles?
Just like released on Spotify/Apple Music, like and no duplicates of like. Live
I'm gonna
or
guess
whatever.
250.
Okay, wait. What were our numbers again?
237.
250.
Okay, it's 229.
Oh,
So I win.
So Enzo
I'm
was
so good at
closest.
this. I love
That
this
was
game.
fun. Put in your guesses. Well, I guess it's too late because I already
The
revealed
thing that I
it.
love about this episode is
Anyways.
there's really no such thing as rambling today because it's all about Taylor Swift. So
Yeah. So like anything goes.
shout out Emma Chamberlain.
Yeah, shout out. Okay, now we can do our music/TV show shout out of the week, but let's do non-Taylor Swift. Well, okay, wait. You can do Taylor Swift if there's like something very pressing. I just figured since everything's about Taylor Swift, like, well, you know, do what you want.
My music shout out is a Taylor Swift song, and that is Enchanted. I was so happy. Like, I don't know. I'm so glad she picked. Like, obviously, I would have liked more from Speak Now, but I was just so glad she did that one. If she was just gonna have to pick one,
I would say that my music shout out is Taylor Swift, so sorry, but it's Exile, but the Long Pond Studio version, because I was watching that while I was doing my homework the other day, and I just realized like how different it is than the actual one, and the way that she says injury, like it just makes my bones chill. Is that a saying?
they released the Long Pond Studio sessions on vinyl for like the record store day, I think.
Yeah,
Literally
I saw
listen to the
that.
way that she sings injury because it's different.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
like
I'll do
Bevan
that.
with Declan
I'll
McKenna.
do that later tonight. It's yeah. And There's this Declan McKenna song. It's Daniel, You're Still a Child, but in the acoustic version, so in the normal version, he says, You spent 10 days in bed, but then in the acoustic version, he says, You spent 10 days in bevid.
This has been an
There's no
inside joke for like
explanation.
4 years, so please, not 4, but like a long
Yeah.
time, so please be honored that we are
Ever
including
since
you
it
in
came
this.
out.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, wait. I feel like I need to do a Taylor Swift related music shout out now. I mean, obviously, like, the whole episode is a Taylor Swift music shout out.
Yeah, it's just on our minds, so
I'm
it's
just trying to
okay.
think if there's like a specific song that stood out to me. I mean, obviously, all the songs stand out to me. I rediscovered Carolina because I haven't listened to that one in a while, and it's just such a good song, and like it's kind of underrated, I feel like. And also being from North Carolina, like I feel like I just relate to it even more.
As a proud
Like when
North
it says Carolina,
Carolinian.
yeah, when it says Carolina Pines, won't you cover me? I'm like, man, I really feel that in my bones.
We also need to talk about how Atlanta like didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, wait.
Like all the other cities did something.
Wait, you're
and they
right.
just did ATL.
No, but like she owned the
Like
city.
is not even very
She
good.
owned the city for a weekend. Like we went to Starbucks, Taylor Swift shirt. We went to the gas station, Taylor Swift shirt. Like everywhere you walked, like she owned the city for the weekend. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But they didn't make her like mayor for the day.
Yeah. Also,
No.
this is slightly related and also slightly unrelated, but yesterday at church, the pastor was talking about how he had to drive like these like high schoolers up for a sports game to Atlanta, and he was talking about how bad the traffic was, and it was like part of the sermon, like follow God's plan, and he was like, the ways told me to go this way, so I followed it or whatever. And then I whispered to my friend, I was like, it's all
Taylor Swift's plan.
concert.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like he was stuck in that traffic because of Taylor Swift. Anyways, we should get into our
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, our episode today is about COVID. And I'm just kidding. It's about Taylor Swift.
The queen.
Yeah, what if we like pretended that an episode was about something, and then like 20 minutes in we were just like, surprise.
We're like, so our episode
It's actually
today
not
is
about
about the current state of our economy.
I feel like that would be underwhelming. Not gonna lie.
For sure. But yeah, it's about Taylor Swift, surprise. And I was saying how like I'm glad this episode is about Taylor Swift because right now I don't have the mental capacity to talk about anything but Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I can also relate to that because right before this I was in therapy and I just started with a new therapist, and I told her today, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm obsessed with Taylor Swift. And she was like, no, I didn't know that, but the way that your face and your eyes just lit up when you said her name makes me so happy for you.
Wait, that's so funny.
And I was like, oh, did it?
Wait, was this like the first session with a new therapist?
It was the second session.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, oh, the first sessions are always, you just have to get through them. Like, it's just something you have to
Yeah,
get
no,
through.
she's
No, exactly.
great.
It's like, they're not that bad, but you just like have to get through those like first sessions.
And she was like, which songs of hers are like getting you through this right now? I gave her a list and she's like, I'm gonna listen to them for you.
Oh my
That's so
gosh, wait,
nice.
is she like a Taylor Swift fan, or is she just like a casual listener?
I don't think so. Like I think she knows like everyone knows her
Yeah.
hits, but no.
You know, it's interesting because I understand being like, I don't understand being a Taylor Swift hater. I'm just saying I understand that there are people that hate Taylor Swift and there are people that love Taylor Swift. But I can't understand just being a casual listener. Like, how can you have listened to just like a few of her songs and like them but not like dig deeper, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that literally reminds me of a SNL skit that I just saw, and it was talking about how like people try to deny that they like Taylor Swift, but they can't.
Yeah, well, and so I think you should talk about your Taylor Swift conversion.
Oh.
Because, like, didn't you used to be kind
No,
of a
I
hater?
did not used to be a hater, but like being a Taylor Swift hater, like it's so hard because, I mean, that sucks for you. Like, because
Well, but-
everywhere you look, it's like selling out this arena, doing this. Like,
I think maybe Carolina might have influenced you.
yeah, I think it was more just when everyone was kind of like, oh, she went pop or whatever. I was kind of like, she went pop, you know? But in reality, it's like, now those are like my favorite eras of her.
Yeah.
I keep refreshing Twitter. I'm like, where is Nicki Minaj at the Met Gala? I'm like, I'm waiting. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Taylor Swift. What if Taylor Swift appeared at the Met Gala while we were recording this
She
That would
episode?
be
won't because,
insane.
Because
like,
I
how did she get from Atlanta to like New York in like 2 minutes?
She was seen has been seen so many times in New York City, like since the tour started. Like she was with the Haim sisters, Gigi and Blake, on the day of a concert
so
in
we're thinking
Houston, I
maybe
think.
she flies back for the week. So
Or if she just
could
has
appear.
plans
Yeah.
in New York, she just goes back for the day.
Yeah, because she does have a private jet.
Billie Eilish. Sorry. Okay, let me like get off of Twitter.
Wait, wait, did she go on?
She looks so good. I'm like, we could do an entire thing like ranking Met Gala looks.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should have done the episode tonight as like live reacting to the Met Gala.
That would have been like so underwhelming though in like an audio form though. Okay. Anyways, I think we should
True.
get into the full details of like seeing the Eras tour and stuff. And the first thing I want to talk about is
Yeah.
getting ready and all of that. So I had my outfit planned out like pretty far in advance. I had a whole like photo album. But it's funny now because I mean, literally 2 days ago, was it 2 days? I don't know, whatever. Saturday, I was in Atlanta with like my makeup done, like full outfit, you know, like kind of like looking like hot, you know, and then now I'm sitting here looking like a literal egg with the headphones on, sitting in front of the microphone, and I'm just like, I'm sick. I took an AP exam. Like, it's funny, just the difference in 2 days.
It's like life just moves on. We'll talk about this when we get to the post-concert
I
depression
mentally have
segment,
not
but
moved
like,
on though, but we'll talk about that later.
yeah. So, anyways, we went to the Eras tour. We were night one in Atlanta, which was Friday night. And like Lily, feel free to like ask questions, like spur on the conversation, because Lily hasn't been yet, so she's kind of like gonna like act like the listener right now and like ask all these questions so we can talk about it. But anyways, I did want to say it was so good, and I've been to her 1989 and Reputation tour, but this one was like so different because the themes were like I just really liked how you like switch into different eras, because in the other two tours, I mean, I honestly don't remember them too much because I was a lot younger, but like um Reputation was kind of just like the set list was kind of all over the place, just a lot of hits. But then this one is just like it was just so cool. And also, I hadn't really watched too many clips online before going. I'd seen a lot of things, but like not everything. Um but all of the visuals when she's switching eras was so cool. And like also the opening with Cruel Summer and Miss Americana, those Miss Americana and Cruel Summer, like two of my favorite songs from her. So it was just like so cool when it opened up, and like those big fan type costumes when you're walking on and the colors. It was just amazing. Which, by the way, I almost
I was
missed the
just about to say
opening
that was a
because
telepathy moment that was like coming out of my mouth.
telepathy. so so we watched the openers. The openers were Gracie Abrams and Biba Doobie, who were both really good. Um, I don't listen to either of them like too much, but they
I
were
saw
really
Biba
good.
Doobie at like a smaller venue in 2021, like a much smaller venue.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like having a more intimate concert with her is really good. And I love her music and she's just amazing.
Was she, yeah, how did she compare like small venue versus big venue?
I mean, you can tell she's more comfortable in a smaller venue with an audience who's like specifically there to see her as opposed to like, you know, when you're opening for somebody, I feel like you're almost more in like promoter mode when you're kind of just like, oh, let me perform
Yeah.
songs that might encourage people to listen to my music and stuff rather than just like, let me play songs for people who listen to my music.
Right. Yeah. So after Biba Doobie finished, I like ran down to the bathroom and I thought it would be just kind of like quick, but the line was really long. And of course, I got in the line with, there were only apparently 3 stalls open in that bathroom. I don't know why. And then the other one had like all the stalls open and it was moving a lot faster, but it was already too late because I had already been in the line so long. I was like, I'm not gonna get out now. But then I'm like maybe 15 people from getting to the bathroom, and I had already been waiting in line for 20 minutes. And then everybody texts me, like Kirk, Enzo, and my friend Eden all texted me like, oh my gosh, the clock just went up on the big screen and it says 2 minutes. And I had to make the quick decision, like, am I going to be able to get to the end of the line and go to the bathroom in 2 minutes? And I was like, no, I can't. So I ran back. And then I forgot what row we were in. Like I was in the right section, but I couldn't find the row, and almost literally started having a panic attack because like the clock was ticking really loud and the music was starting to like get louder, and I was like, like I was literally freaking out. And then I texted my brother like, "What row are we in?" And luckily he told me, and I got back in my seat with like 20 seconds to spare.
Wow.
And then the music got really loud, and then like the dancers
That's so
started walking out.
stressful.
I had to not go to the bathroom for the next like 5 hours, but it's okay because I didn't really have to go too bad. But that was just a side story.
It was like a preventative pee.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sort of.
But like, okay,
Like I had to go, but not too bad.
yeah,
Anyways.
Not bad enough to miss Taylor.
Right.
that has to be like a
never.
new level of having to go to the bathroom. But so when you think about like if somebody were to ask you like what were some of your favorite moments, like what is the first thing that comes to your mind before like fully analyzing everything that happened? Like what's just the first thing that comes to mind?
That's a really good question. For some reason, the first thing that comes to mind for me was the scene during Tolerate It where she's like setting the table.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say that was my favorite part, but it's almost like one of the most memorable things because I just thought it was cool how she kind of incorporated like theater, not like theater, but like
Yeah,
just
like
like
just
stage
elements.
production.
She's in her theater kid era.
No,
Yeah.
honestly.
She honestly is. But like I thought it was so cool how she acted. She like it became like a musical almost. Like she acted
I
out the
love
scene of
that.
Tolerate It. And it also helped me like interpret the song a little bit differently because she starts off where she's sitting at the end of the table, this really long table with this other guy at the end, and it acts out the story of Tolerate It. And as the song builds up, she like starts crawling across the table and then starts like knocking over everything on the table. And then when the song ends, she sits back down. And what's the last line of the song? Oh, the last line of the song is the same as the first line of the song. So it almost like bookends each other. And I'm just like now whenever I listen to that song I'm always going to think about that because it's so cool.
Yeah.
What was yours?
So the first thing that comes to my mind is okay, so I really tried to have no spoilers. Like I looked at the set list and stuff, but I didn't want to look at any of like the set and all of that. But like on Instagram, it just like
Right.
popped up in my feed and I saw the caption and it was like the transition from Don't Blame Me to Look What You Made Me Do. And I immediately like had to click off. I was like, no, I can't spoil this. But I was like I knew that was what was going to happen. It's like at the end of Don't Blame Me when she did like the Don't Blame Me for What You Made Me Do. I like,
Oh, I love
I
that.
felt
Yeah.
it coming and then I was like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden like kind of like,
I looked over to you and your jaw was like dropped.
no, like I genuinely like was gonna like just die from like shock. Cause like I knew it was coming, but like nothing could have prepared me for like when it faded to black, and then all of a sudden it was like the electric guitar with that first like part of Look What You Made Me Do, and I was
Oh
like,
my
wow.
gosh.
That note like
Oh.
gives me a heart attack.
Okay, that is also the electric guitar was so good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
oh,
like
man.
I hear it in my brain. I
I
can't do
love
it,
the
though.
electric guitar and like I wasn't man, it was so good.
I am the opposite. I've honestly like spoiled everything for myself. I've watched the entire concert live on TikTok, basically. So I have all the spoilers, and I knew I was never gonna be able to avoid it.
Yeah.
So I kind of just leaned into it. And I'm the type of person who likes to be prepared for things, but I am constantly thinking about when she was saying, like, you can't be prepared. Like, I think it was like the
yeah.
second weekend or something. She was like, you guys think you can memorize the set list, but you guys cannot, like, ever be prepared.
Yeah, well she did change out she changed out Invisible String
String.
into the one, and we got the one, which I honestly, Invisible String and the one are two of my favorites from the album, but I think I like the one a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I was really excited
Do you
to hear
think she
that live.
changed that because of Joe?
I mean,
It's
how
so
else?
oddly specific.
And-
like, Invisible String is so oddly
Yeah,
specific to
and she
Joe.
switched it right after the breakup, right?
Yeah.
So like, what else could it be?
I don't know, but part of me is also like, she's on this massive, like super successful tour. Like, forget a breakup. Like, she is a pop star. Like, she's just like killing it right now. You know what I mean? Which, like, obviously, I'm sure like a breakup has been hard, but also like I feel like so many people don't. They like to just only talk about that sort of stuff. But it's like, oh my God, she's on this huge, like,
Yeah.
super successful
Yeah.
tour right now.
I did see that she she archived a video today. Somehow I found this on Twitter. She archived a video of her explaining a song. I forget what song.
Lavender Haze.
No, maybe.
Well, she talks about in that
The
video.
one where she talks
talks
about Joe or like having a private relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, she archived that.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know what type of extreme fan figured out which video she archived, because at first people were just like, oh, she has one video archived. We can tell because like the Google thing lines up differently than Instagram, and somehow somebody figured out what video was archived. So
well, yeah, she talks specifically about like her 6-year relationship.
yeah,
And was
she
like,
deleted that.
wow. I honestly give her so much credit for doing this tour while going through it, and I honestly think it was probably the best time for her to release that information when she did, because like it was the one weekend where she didn't have a concert.
Yeah,
And
I mean the way
coming from a publicist, like not that I'm a publicist, but like coming from a PR standpoint, like that was the best time for it to happen.
Yeah,
because everyone was so focused on the tour, and so that like the public can kind of just like breeze over this and get back to praising her for how amazing her tour is.
Yeah, that was, yeah, honestly, like at first I mean, a lot of people were in disbelief, and I was skeptical because I was like, I'm not gonna hear it. I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. But also I do believe it. But like,
I definitely believe it now.
Yeah, I definitely believe it now. And like the reading into like the way that was planned out, like releasing that information the one weekend she wasn't on tour is so smart, because if she had released that a weekend she was on tour, like
it
would like alter, like I wouldn't want to be going to the tour the weekend that she announced that, because I feel like the vibes would be off. So it was planned out perfectly. She's a mastermind.
I was just about to say that.
Like, what if I told you none of it was accidental, you know? But one thing that I do get paranoid about, though, is I would hate for, like, you know, in 2 years from now, there'd be, like, a documentary on the Eras Tour or something, and then she talks about, like, oh, it was hard to be on tour and, like, navigate a breakup at the same time, you know? Because, you know, I feel like this always happens where, like, we see something and then that's not making any sense, but do you know what I mean?
I don't think she'll ever really talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, she was so private about her life that, or she is so private about her life that I don't think she'll ever really acknowledge that. I don't think she wants anyone to talk about anything but her successful tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope that she's, like, taking care of herself and not,
Me too.
you know, trying to cope with the breakup by just replacing it with work, you know what I mean? Like, I would hate for that to be, like, an issue.
She's so
you know?
wise. She's gone through it so many times that, like, and 6 years is a long time. I can't even imagine that. Like, I bet she thought he was the one.
I know.
Like, the one.
I know.
And, like, spending quarantine with someone, I'm sure, like, was just such a special thing for their relationship.
Cat. Like, Benji is literally a child of divorce.
Oh, really? Was his cat too?
Well, I mean, they got the cat when they were dating, because her other two cats were, like, before she started dating him, so... Like, I mean, I'm sure she took Benji because, it is her cat, but, like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know.
I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Yeah. Well, we should talk about our surprise songs that we got. So, wait, we should say, like, which songs we wanted as a surprise song. And Lily, you can say yours too, because you haven't had yours yet. I wanted either a song from Fearless, specifically like Hey Steven or The Other Side of the Door, which ended up being a surprise song, so I was kind of freaking out. Or I wanted like, I wanted Cowboy Like Me, but she already played that one. She already played a lot that I wanted, but I was like, anything from Fearless, like Untouchable too, that would be good.
I can't believe she hasn't played Mr. Perfectly Fine yet.
Yeah. I also kind of wanted Gorgeous, because I didn't realize it till during the show, but I was like thinking, wait, is Gorgeous on the set list or no? And then it wasn't. And I was like, dang it. But she played that 2 nights ago.
The day after you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah. Wait, what did you want, Enzo?
I really wanted to hear No Body, No Crime. just like on the piano, just like a super, I don't know, I feel like that'd be really cool.
Yeah, so she ended up playing The Other Side of the Door, which I took a video of her announcing the song, and she goes like, I really love this song. That I was re-recording this album, and I just love this part of the song that has this like rant near the end. And I like yelled to my friend Eden, I'm like, the other side of the door. Wait, the other side of the door? And then she starts playing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of the ones that I wanted. And then she also played Coney Island, which
Oh, so jealous.
yeah, Lily wanted Coney Island. And like I mean, obviously I like every Taylor Swift song, but Coney Island, like, I do like it. It's just like I like the other ones on Evermore better.
You didn't connect with it like
Yeah.
as much. And we had the conversation about
Yeah.
it like a week before, which I think is funny.
Yeah. But it was cool to hear like her version of it without the national. Because it was just something new. Like, I was glad that we kind of got something new. Which songs do you want now that we've gotten more? I saw this TikTok about like the Taylor Swift songs being taken off of the list of surprise songs as like Hunger Games tributes, like how in the Hunger Games it shows up in the sky when people die, and it's like
That's
the surprise songs whenever one gets sung.
I think I want Exile, because that's another one where I've never heard her sing the entire thing alone. But I think that would be hard for her to sing because it's so heavily dependent on Bon Iver.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna have Bon Iver at some point.
We also need to talk
where
about
is he
special
from?
guests
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm disappointed in the amount of special guests.
I feel like he's from like Seattle or something, or Oregon,
Oh, he's from
or
Wisconsin.
like somewhere up north.
He has
Oh.
such a
Wisconsin?
dark voice. It's so captivating. Like, and then Ivy, because Ivy is one of my favorite songs on Evermore, and it's underrated, I feel like.
Yes, I told Anna I wanted that to be a surprise song.
It's such a beautiful song, and I think it would make a perfect surprise song, like
Yeah.
acoustic.
Yeah, I wanted that. I would have wanted that too. I also at one point I was like, oh, I want her to sing seven, but I'd forgotten that she does seven as a poem.
Which I think is so cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think that was so cool. I mean, I would have liked to hear it as a song, but like as
Did
long
you
as
know
as long
that?
as there's seven I think I had heard it at one point,
Okay.
but I forgot it. But I just love seven. Like that honestly, that's one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs.
It's super, like, imaginative.
Yeah.
Like, the imagery in it is insane.
Yeah, I love when she says, I used to scream ferociously, or
Yeah.
that's what it is?
Whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
I think I've been watching a lot of H.T. Hayes, the YouTuber that reacts to her albums. And he was actually at the Atlanta concert. He lives in
Wait.
Georgia.
Oh.
He was spotted.
Wait, which night?
2 or 3, can't remember.
Okay.
But I've been watching a lot of his videos, and he describes her songs as like quill songs or like just regular pen songs.
Like what type of writing instrument?
Yes.
That's so true.
And then when I was watching Miss Americana last night, she was like, when she was 13, she actually wrote with a quill.
Oh.
And she did have that talk at some event where she talked about like sparkly glitter pen songs and quill songs.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
And there was another pen, I think. So 7 is a quill song.
Yeah.
Most folklore ones
I
are.
like the quill songs.
Me too.
Is there anything else we should talk about the tour?
I don't know.
Like-
It was such a long show that
Yeah. Wait.
I can't even. I'm still processing.
I need to look through my camera roll to see like, cause
Oh, I was so glad that she performed Vigilante shit. Like that's literally like one of my favorite songs from Midnight because
Really?
I really like, I don't know, I just like the songwriting in it and like the minimal like production sort of. Or not like the minimal
I feel
production, but
like-
it's just kind of like it's just the bass and that drum.
No,
and
I know
I
what
don't
you
know.
mean.
It's something's like really powerful about it.
yeah.
When Midnights came out, Anna and I had a listening party, and
Yeah.
I like really liked Vigilante shit at first.
Me
And then
too.
I didn't like it
Yeah.
anymore.
No, that's just
I
like,
don't
been my
not like it.
favorite.
I could never not like her songs.
I agree.
But
When I first heard it, my
was
mouth
like,
was
"Ooh."
dropped. I was like, this
Yeah.
is one of my favorites. And
it's
then
just like a little cringe now,
Yeah.
which I feel really bad by saying. I'm
Wait,
sorry,
no, I'm
Taylor,
embar-
if you're listening to
Now
this.
I'm embarrassed.
No.
no, it is like I mean, obviously it's still better than like any other song by
I
anyone
think
else.
just compared to like the songs on Reputation, it just didn't hit
Yeah,
as
I do agree
hard.
that some of her lyrics in Midnights are a little bit like
Well, I've seen the
millennial.
quality of her music,
Yeah.
a lot of her songs, and then on the ones that just maybe don't hit as much for me, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
she has the ability.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I loved about the set was the cardigan house or the folklore cabin or whatever. I'm so glad that she had that
Yes.
on the set because I want to live
She
in the
really
folklore
just did it
cabin one
all.
day.
Like you keep like bringing up stuff and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that happened." Like it's
Wait, can we
just
talk about when she
crazy.
burns the lover house? What is that? And
Oh
what do you
yeah.
think that is? Do you think that's the end of her and Joe? Like,
But they would have had to
yeah,
plan that
no,
so
I
far
know.
ahead of time. But I mean,
Right.
they could have broken up. I don't know when they broke up.
Yeah. Like, why does she burn the lover house?
I don't know.
Like, because just this past December, she released like the lover house collection on her merch.
Yeah.
And now it's just gone?
And what era was that between?
It was between Lover and Fearless.
For not seeing the show yet, I feel like I have seen it.
Yeah. Well, you kind of
Because I
have.
The way
watched
like
too
you're
many
saying things that I'm like,
TikTok
wait, when
lives.
did this happen?
That was the
Yeah,
only thing I was like,
you
huh?
know more about it
I
than
know,
us.
well, because I've like actually been studying it. Like, I think I'm getting to an obsessive level, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I think Willow was
Um,
really cool. Like I loved the trees during Evermore. Like the
yeah.
set was really cool and
Oh
had
my
these nice
gosh.
like cute wintry vibes.
The stage was so cool because throughout the set, the stage was like a little grid of boxes, and some points some boxes would raise down and they would become stairways down to the backstage or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know
And then
that.
sometimes they would raise up. And during Evermore, some of them raised up and they had like evergreen trees on them.
Oh, cool.
It was so cool.
Do you know the door
Um,
that like came out of the screen sort of and like that's where all like the
yeah.
dancers entered and that's where like she entered a few times?
Hmm.
I swear the door like disappeared. You know what I mean? Like normally you can see the
I
outline
know.
of
Because
it,
it's a screen
but
and
it
you
just like
can't,
went
like...
away. It just like went away
Yeah,
and I
when she
was like,
comes out in Fearless.
Yeah. It
yeah.
actually, my mind was like boggled.
I think it's so cool that it's like all screens.
Yeah, no, the stuff about the stage going up and down too, the little boxes was like confusing. I spent a lot of time thinking about that during the show because I was like, where did they go? And like, where did the trees come from? Because those had raised at some point once before without the trees. It's just confusing.
And the dive.
Yeah.
How does she not get hurt?
Oh my
Like, she must
gosh,
land
that
on like
was
a mattress, but
crazy.
I would hurt myself
Yeah.
No,
even
that
if I
like
was landing on a mattress.
even if it was like a foam pit, that's still gonna hurt.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like what if you just like missed
Did
the
she have to
box and
practice
like
that?
Yeah.
probably like during rehearsal it's like okay ready
In
to
a
jump.
pool?
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, maybe she jumps into water, but then I was like, well, obviously not.
That's still gonna hurt
'Cause
because it's
then
gonna
she'd get
belly
wet.
flop too. Okay,
Yeah.
wait, I'm looking through
Wait.
my camera roll now and like
Me too.
the choreography and the chairs and stuff, like I will die on this hill. I'm waiting for people to give vigilante shit like her flowers. Like I'm serious, like the
No,
chairs, the
I've seen, no,
choreography.
they have. I've seen it all over TikTok and Twitter.
Oh. Okay,
Oh,
still.
no. Okay, we laugh about how every episode I mention something on TikTok, even
You
though I
don't
don't
even
have it
have
on my
it.
phone.
You don't have TikTok, but then it's like I saw this TikTok. I saw this on
I
TikTok.
literally,
It's because she sees it in Instagram Reels.
yeah.
Cringe.
But also, what song was this during? Hold on, Bad Blood. The torches.
Oh, I loved it. It was so
they had
warm.
giant, you know.
I don't know about
okay,
this.
So they have giant blow torches or like pyrotechnics or whatever,
Oh.
and they would like
They would like go on with the beat, and like it was kind of cold
they
in
would go with the
there.
beat, and they were so hot. You could feel
No
it.
way. All
It
the way
was-
up there?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, it
cold
was
in the room, and like when the
crazy.
fire came on, like it was nice and toasty. Like I was like, wait, keep it on.
And then like everything lit up, and
That's
it
sick.
was so cool. Like that was so cool.
I just had like a moment during the show where I got like emotional, and I was like she's just born to be a pop star. Like imagine,
know.
imagine
I-
this being your child. Imagine your child being like, "Mom, like come to my show tonight," and that's the show. Like she really,
Yeah.
she is.
I know. I was
she's
thinking
a
about
pop
that
star.
too.
She's a star. Like she's
But I also
insane.
love how
I
humble
love
she
her.
is at the same time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's looking around after Marjorie and after Champagne Problems when everyone did
Yeah.
the lights.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, these people love me.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so real of her.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes when like whether singers are being like specifically like genuine towards your crowd or if they're just saying that. Like obviously I could tell she was genuine during like when we gave her like a really long standing ovation with the lights and stuff. Um and then she was like doing the heart thing and
Oh yeah, I saw that.
she was like, "Wow, oh my gosh, that was crazy, you guys. Did you?" She was like, "Did you guys plan that?" And but we didn't. But
But
and I
now
could
it's
tell
gonna
that,
happen
yeah.
every time now.
Yeah.
Somebody went on Saturday, posted on their story. They're like, "OMG, she performed this song and said we were the best crowd." And I was like, "Oh."
No, like I
But
know
like
that she probably
I'm
tells
convinced
everyone
like
they're the
we were
best
the best
crowd.
crowd, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, she convinced me that we were the best crowd, but I know that she says that to everyone because if I was like a performer, I would want to tell them that they're the best crowd so that they'd like feel good in the moment, I
But
guess.
you were night one. So I
Yeah.
feel like that everything that she said night one was the first time she was saying it in Atlanta, which makes me feel like it was genuine. I'm going to Pittsburgh night two. It's the one of the only concerts that or the places that only have two shows in that weekend. It doesn't have three.
Yeah.
So hopefully she'll be a little bit rested for me.
Yeah.
I hope she is like taking care of herself and all that because on your voice,
Yeah.
on
I
your
mean, she has a
body and
week to
stuff.
recover.
Right, but like 3 nights in a row, like on your voice and on your body, like I can't
Yeah.
imagine. I can't imagine.
I know.
I'm always constantly thinking about like the workouts that she has to do for
Yeah.
these shows. Like, does she sing and run on the treadmill?
Yeah, like that Jumpman commercial. Do you guys remember that? The
Yes,
Apple
with
Music.
Drake.
Yeah.
That was so funny. It's my
That was
imagining
so
her.
funny.
Me and Anna were talking about how like we wonder what her post-show routine is. Like what time does she wake up the next day? Does she sleep until noon or does she have to get up at like 7?
Right.
Well, Anna and I were just talking about this over dinner that I don't remember what night she said it. I think it was last night when she played I Bet You Think About Me.
Yeah.
She was saying how after the concert, like, she's so wired from the whole 3 hours that she can't fall asleep after. So she stays up till like really late and like really early in the morning. And then she doesn't I don't know, she didn't say what time she wakes up after,
Yeah.
but I'd assume it's like not early.
I would just be exhausted doing 3 hours a night for 3 nights in a row. Because, I mean, I was exhausted just, like, being there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how she does it. And she has to remember all the choreography. She can't mess up. I mean, she can mess up, but, like, you know, she doesn't really mess up that often. And,
I love when she messes
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
And she was saying that she was so utterly humiliated. And I was like, girl, no, we love it.
Oh, yeah,
it's like
'cause
so genuine.
Didn't she, like, start Gorgeous Over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's funny.
she said that she was what's that word?
Humiliated.
Okay, thank you. And I was like, no, I think it's so genuine and like
Yeah.
real. Like I love when she shows that she's a real human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know
And,
because
like,
it's hard to believe she's a real human when she does these shows because I'm like, you
Yeah.
are incredible.
Like
yeah.
she gets sick. She has stomach bugs.
Yeah. And, like,
she
some
eats
of-
Like that's
pizza.
so okay. Like that's the beauty of just like of the human condition. I'm just kidding. Going back to
and like
English
some of
too.
her speeches that she does are all of them pre-planned. I mean, obviously the surprise song ones are kind of on the spot, but like I know that, I mean, her one about being in your 20s was probably she does that at every show.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, like are all of her speeches just
I
on the
loved that
spot?
speech. I actually listened to it again after you
Yeah.
sent it to me because
That was really
she
good.
was just talking about like if you guys didn't hear it, but talking about how being in your early 20s is such a hard time and that like her heart goes out to everyone who's going through that, and it just
Yeah.
made me feel so like warm.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked that speech. And then what was her other
Oh, before Champagne Problems, and she was saying
Oh.
how like dealing with knowing that she can't perform songs from folklore because it was written during the pandemic, and how Champagne Problems was the one where she was like, "Ugh, I really want to perform this," and that was one where I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like,
And she talked about like just in general about folklore and how she like wanted to write stories about like stuff that was made up so that she could escape during quarantine, which I don't know if that one was pre-planned either, but
I think she has an idea of what she's gonna say,
Yeah.
and then I think she
I guess
varies
it's-
it
right.
per.
that makes sense.
It's like a speech. Like
yeah.
you don't always say it word for word.
yeah, obviously like parts where she's like, "Wow, you guys are making me feel like I'm the man, and then goes into that song. Obviously, that's like a
Yeah,
part of the show,
exactly.
Yeah.
but I mean, other parts, she might just have like sections where, she has a general idea of what she's gonna say, but also if she feels a random type of way one night, she can just like say it, like she has an entire like stadium of people who are just
Hmm.
willing to listen to her. So,
Yeah. Also, like, so something I loved hearing, like, Evermore and Folklore live, um, because, like, I just feel like I've never, since that's kind of like a new style of music for her, it was just so cool, like, seeing how she did that live. And, like, I had heard a lot of the other songs live before, so I wasn't as, like, I mean, I was super excited, of course, but I wasn't as like awestruck, like shocked because I'd heard it before. But like when I heard Evermore and Folklore live, I was like, wow, this is what I came here for.
And I feel like those albums, Folklore and Evermore, really aren't traditional, like 70,000 person concert songs.
Right.
But that just shows how incredible she is because she can turn Champagne
Yeah.
Problems
Oh my gosh.
into a giant stadium song.
She's so like the way she's so versatile. She went from Tolerate It with that like play acting scene of like literally Tolerate It, which is like a very slow and sad song. And then she went straight into Ready for It.
Yeah, that's
And
insane.
that was like in that moment I was like, wow, her music is so versatile. Like she really has something for everybody. And also I was shocked by just hearing all of her singles again. I mean, obviously I listen to her regularly and stuff, but just like hearing them all in a 3 hour span of like it was almost like a travel through her all of her eras, which obviously that was what it was, but like hearing all of these hit songs that like a lot of these songs everybody's heard before. Even like if you're not a Swiftie, you've just heard it on the radio, and I was just like, wow, she really has like so many hits.
Yeah, that reminds me. One time I was listening, or a few weeks ago, I was listening to her on shuffle, which sometimes I like to do, mix it up. And Tolerate It had just finished. And I was walking down the street and I was like, oh, that song is so sad. And all of a sudden I hear, shake it off, shake it off.
Yeah.
And that literally jump scared me. Like I jumped up and down. Like I was, I jumped out of my skin
That's so
on the middle
funny.
of like Savannah Street.
I hadn't heard Shake It Off in a while, and I'm not saying I forgot about it, but I like kind of I didn't forget about it obviously, but I just like it hadn't been on my mind in a while. And when she started performing, I was like, "Oh wait, this is a song too." Like there's so many
Yeah.
songs.
I forgot about Style until, not forgot about it, but like I hadn't listened to it in
Yeah.
a while. And now like I'm in my Style era. Like every time I put it on, it like immediately puts me in a happier mood.
Yeah.
recently I've been in my blank space era because I don't know, like sometimes concerts, I'll have that one random song that like I obviously love because like it's Taylor Swift, but I don't know, like it just hit different live. It was so like nostalgic and something about it was just really nice.
Yeah, like some songs gave me like a whole new perspective hearing them live. I don't remember which ones specifically, but there was one where I was like, "Wow. Oh,
Well, you
shoot.
mentioned
I think
Tolerate
it
It.
was during the last well Tolerate It and also the last Great American Dynasty. I mean, that is one of my favorites from Folklore, but hearing it live, I was like, I'm never gonna listen to this song the same. I'm just gonna imagine how good it was live.
Yeah, wait, I need to talk about how she goes from August to, why am I blanking on the name of this song right now? The song about, oh, Illicit Affairs, sorry. She goes from August to Illicit Affairs, and Illicit Affairs is one of those songs that I physically feel pain when I listen to it.
Oh yeah, the bridge.
Like, I have never heard something so emotional as you've shown me colors you know I can't see with anyone else. Like, that is, like, absurd. Like, the audacity of her writing that. So, the fact that she sings it in such an alternative, like, way, that is, I already know, and it already has shaped me as a person and a Swiftie. So, I'm just wondering how you guys felt about that
Yeah,
part.
I agree. So I like again, I'm not an affairs hater. It's I'm not.
But, like, you don't connect?
We've already talked about this before.
have?
Yeah. No, I connect, but I just something about the tune, like something about the melody of the song doesn't hit me as hard as the other ones. Um, so it is like my least favorite of the album.
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah.
I feel like, not to expose you or anything,
No.
but
I know
no,
what
where
you're
is this
saying.
going?
I feel like since you haven't gone through like a relationship, you will not relate to those songs until you have.
Oh, I 1,000% like agree with that for myself.
Well, like I agree with that, but like it's not the lyrics that I don't relate to, or not. I mean, obviously don't
Yeah.
relate to them, but like it's not the lyrics that don't get me. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the melody doesn't. Like I listen
Yeah.
to songs more for the melody for some reason, and that the melody just doesn't. I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh, I completely relate to that though, because like there's a reason why like My Tears Ricochet, This Is Me Trying, and Vigilante Shit are my favorite songs. Like there's a reason why I don't have like the relationship aspect that like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I always say this, like, depending on what I'm going through in life, like, her music just hits me differently.
Mm-hmm.
So until you have had some of the experiences,
Yeah. No. Yeah. I
you
get
might
that.
not be able to fully, like, appreciate. Not that I'm saying that you,
Yeah.
like, don't. You know, I'm just,
No. I
I'm
know.
not trying to be a
no.
hater.
I know what you're saying.
But like what she says, like, you've taught me a secret language that I can't speak with anyone else. Like, I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
I don't think that everyone can understand the complexity of that.
Yeah, but like I can imagine the complexity of that though,
Yeah.
so that's why that is like one of my favorite lines from the song. So I think I can like I understand the song in that way. It's more like the instrumentation doesn't tickle my brain the way the other songs tickle
But
my
that's
brain.
what's so amazing about her. Everyone can relate to something different.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her so loved by so many people, because everyone like just feels differently.
Yeah. But anyways, the Illicit Affairs live was like I'm glad that she played it live or I'm glad that she just did the chorus or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it was a really good transition song and like it was cool to hear live. So yeah.
Yeah, but no, I completely get the part about like I can appreciate all of like the love songs and stuff, but I'm fully aware that like I
Mm-hmm.
just I don't relate to them. Like those aren't the songs that but I mean, I can
Once
still like
you
fully
do,
no, ugh.
I don't know.
it'll fully change your perspective on life.
I feel like I get what you're saying, and so, but like, I feel like I do relate, but maybe I'm just such a like an imaginative person that
No,
I
same.
like.
Like when I'm sad, I'll put on a sad love song. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's like
Like,
I don't.
Let me know in a few years.
Okay.
Or
I don't know.
whenever
Like it's
that
like
happens for
when
you.
when I'm sad, I will put on a sad like breakup song, but I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, like I wish I didn't just go through a breakup or something.
It
It's
just
not.
hits.
It's just
Yeah.
a different kind of emotion.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you can relate
Yeah.
like that emotion to lots of things in life.
Also, like I feel like this is a story for another time, but because I have to say that every episode. But I feel like I want to survey people on like if you listen to music for the lyrics or for the music, because I feel like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, 100%.
But I've sort of
I
realized that like I don't listen to music for the relatability of it. I just kind of listen to it for like just like appreciate it. I don't know. But it's like I do
yeah.
listen to it because it hits hard, but it's like I don't specifically relate to what it's saying.
Yeah. So like I've noticed this recently. Like I can know all the lyrics to a song and sing them, but then if somebody asks me like what's the song about, sometimes I literally can't tell you.
Which blows my mind because she
Yeah.
is so storytelling.
Well, I think no, Taylor Swift's different though.
Oh, okay,
Taylor
okay.
Swift's different, but I'm saying like other songs because Taylor Swift's are like very storytelling. But let's see other songs. I'm trying to think of like yeah. So like because I have to bring Inhaler into like literally every episode. I mean, okay, that's different because like I've read all their Genius lyrics and stuff, which actually no, they don't have explanations on any of their Genius lyrics, but I can like know all the lyrics to one of their songs, But for example, like My Honest Face by Inhaler, I've known that song for like 3 years, but I just now, like 2 months ago, read the lyrics and like was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what this song is
I'm
about.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, I am such a lyric person. I don't think that Taylor, and she said this herself in a Miss Americana, that she would not be where she is today if it wasn't for her storytelling aspects.
Yeah.
And I've just...
Yeah. I do agree that some artists are like, can break the boundaries between the music listeners and the lyric listeners.
Sometimes I don't think her production is anything special. Sometimes.
Yeah.
What makes her special for me is her storytelling and
I
her
agree.
lyrics. Like, I literally feel like she is the best friend I've never met. And I know a lot of other Swifties feel that way. If I can't ever, like, explain my emotions, she just can do it for me.
Yeah.
And she has a song for every single emotion a woman has ever felt.
Yeah.
Not saying that men don't feel those complex emotions, but
Yeah.
it's just different. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no,
she,
I
like,
agree.
I feel like she lives inside my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I would really like to survey a bunch of people on like how they perceive music because I think that's so interesting. Is there anything else to talk about the Eras Tour, or do we even have time to get into this other stuff, or should
I
we
literally
just like?
don't know. Like, the way this
'Cause
turned
Enzo,
into
I
an
feel like we
entire,
could-
like, tea time session.
Yeah, but Enzo, I feel like we could do an entire episode about
No, we
post-concert
totally
depression, how
could.
concerts have changed.
Yeah, we were
Um,
gonna talk about other stuff, but, like, this took up the entire episode, and I mean, I'm so glad it did. Like, this is such a nice little
Yeah.
conversation.
I could talk about this forever.
I know. I feel like we're not even like done with our conversation, but should we? I mean,
But if you want to hear more about this, then Anna and I are thinking about making a Taylor Swift podcast. So
yeah,
just plugging that.
that might be a summer project.
That would be fun. I will be streaming. I hope you're listening.
Yeah.
It's just I could talk about this forever, and I've been so bored lately, and I've been trying to find Taylor Swift podcasts to listen to, and everyone's like so critical of her.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that attitude. I just want to talk about,
Like how we're talking about it
yeah,
today.
just like so emotion based.
Yeah.
I'm just in my emotion era. My emotional era.
Also, like, I love how she capitalized off of that era, the slang or whatever, the TikTok trend of, or not even TikTok, just like the internet trend of saying "in my blank era." Like, she totally capitalized off of that for the Eras Tour, and that was such a smart move because
wait, but like, doesn't she plan these tours like years in advance? So how did she?
well, this Eras thing, or like the Eras phrase started like a year ago. So I think she hadn't named the tour yet.
Oh, maybe it was like I am always thinking about like how involved was she with this, and like is she involved as involved with tours as she is with her music? Like she writes everything, she produces her own stuff too. So I'm like, I need to know
Yeah.
if she was a mastermind behind this tour.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because literally can't see Enzo anymore because it's so dark.
It's so dark,
But,
and like I'm not getting
I
up,
mean,
and like I
it's
feel
fine.
like
It
literal.
was like bright blue
potato.
sky when we started.
Yeah. So like now that I guess my past two tours I was younger, so I didn't like read into it as much, but now that I'm like in design school, I was thinking a lot about like all the mechanics of everything and like how much
Same.
was planned out, how much was not, like the flow of everything. I do think some of the ways the eras flowed into each other were kind of random. Like I almost kind of wish she had gone like chronologically.
Yeah, same, but also not. I don't know.
I don't really care too much, but
What's
I
af-
was
what's
like, why
after
did she go
Lover?
from Lover to Fearless?
Yeah.
And also, why did she have no debut songs?
Oh my god, I'm mad about that.
Like-
I'm more mad about that than Speak Now.
Yeah, like,
Because this might be like a little bit bad, but
I think,
Speak Now is not in my top 5.
yeah, I was just about to say, I think if I had to choose, Speak Now would probably be my least favorite.
I'm just never gonna
I
choose.
can't choose a least favorite,
Yeah.
but like,
But it's not in my top 5.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
I mean, I honestly do think Speak Now is my least favorite, but like, I obviously love it.
I was just thinking about this on my way here. When I listen to Debut, I'm like, I am listening to completely different artist right now. I'm like, who is this? And I think that's why she's lasted so long, because she can like literally shapeshift.
Yeah. Yeah, so like why she has so many good songs from debut. Our song, Picture to Burn,
Tim McGraw literally made her famous.
Yeah, and
I know she sang that like the first surprise song, which I think is a really great addition. But I was watching a TikTok from Thrifty Swiftie, which I literally check her page every single day. She was talking about how maybe Taylor feels like in debut it's like really sore, because like sore and hurtful to sing those songs, because she did write them when she was 12, 13, 14, 15.
Wow.
And they were stolen from her. Like, that must be emotional. Like, you're a vulnerable teenager, and those songs were just stolen from you. It must be hard to sing them. That could be my only thought about why she didn't do debut.
I don't know. It's like,
but how can she call it the Eras Tour and not sing every era?
I wish she had played our song. I love that song.
She doesn't even have one from debut.
Yeah.
How can she call it the Eras Tour?
I know.
This is me being critical.
It's the Eras -1 tour.
Yeah.
If you're really gonna call it that.
But she did sing Cold As You, which is my favorite song on debut.
I don't know. I've just recently been in my era where, like, you know, I just, you know, in terms of what you were saying with the chronological order with the albums and stuff, I kind of like how it's not predictable, you know, you kind of like don't know what's next. You know, like I don't really know like her exact thought process of anything, but I'm kind of just like, okay, like I know you're a genius and your brain is capable of all of these
like just
amazing
trust
things.
her with
Like,
it.
you know, like I just have trust in her, and I'm just kind of like, you know, like I'm here for whatever.
I do have a theory that debut will be the last re-record, though. I feel like that would just be like full circle moment.
Yeah.
First album out, for last album to be re-recorded.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I could literally talk about this forever. So should I even start?
Just to say it.
Like, how long is she gonna drag the re-recording process on for? It could be like 10 years for all we know.
I know, because it's already been 2 years and it's just been 2 albums. Like, I kind of thought it would be like every half of a year.
I think she's gonna drag it out as long as she humanly possibly
why?
can.
Like, I think she's already re-recorded them. I mean, because she said that was like her passion project, so I'm assuming they're all like already done. So it's just kind of a matter of like when they come out. So it's like, you know, like I know she has this all calculated perfectly. So I'm just kind of like, you know, down for whatever.
I just have a feeling she's gonna take her time.
I really hope this isn't her last world tour either.
I know, but like, I have a feeling. I don't know.
I don't know though, because like
I don't know, Bon Jovi or whoever from the 80s are like, they toured till like they were like 70.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure she'll do a reunion tour when she's like 60. I'm sure.
Oh my god, I can't
I
even.
was talking to my friend Eden on the car ride to Atlanta, like, where I'm probably gonna be like 40 years old like 50 years old bringing my like teenage kids to the Taylor Swift reunion tour.
If my children don't like her, I'm disowning them. I'm putting them up for adoption. You have to like Taylor Swift.
I feel like that's just like the statement to like round it all up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, round it all up. Did that make sense?
End it off?
Yeah.
Round it up? Wait. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Oh my gosh.
Wrap it up.
I feel like I've been so off this episode because my brain is fried from the AP exam, but I've just been like vibing, just like listening and stuff.
Sorry I've been talking so much. I'm just passionate.
No, sorry. Like nothing I've said makes sense. But also like Anna's mom was telling me that we should stop apologizing for literally everything in the podcast. Anyways.
Your mom or my mom?
Yes.
What have we apologized for? Or like,
she was
what
like,
have I apologized for?
Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I said moral of the story again, just say it, you know? And then I was like, so true.
Yeah, I mean that one was a little, and the one where you kept like correcting yourself for saying like, when I was listening back, I was like, okay, just
I know, this is my brain 24/7. Anyways.
Yeah, I like when you say moral of the story. I think it's funny.
So moral of the story, after this, I'll be showering and then going to bed, and also editing last week's episode because procrastination.
I will be listening to that on my morning walk to class tomorrow, so you better have it out.
I will.
Yeah. What am I gonna be doing? I'm driving Lily back, and then I'm probably gonna get a little bit of homework done, but not a lot, because one, I just don't feel like it today, and two, I don't have like a ton that's due tomorrow because it's kind of funny because we had to like turn in these like journals that we're working on for my history of graphic design class last week, and I missed the class last week where she was returning them, and the next journal is technically due on Tuesday, but like she doesn't grade them. But like I don't have my journal, so I can't do it. So I'm kind of like happy because I get to put it off.
Probably gonna go to bed because I have an 8 a.m. tomorrow. So,
Oh.
and I'm gonna debate going to my 8 a.m. Even though I'm missing class on Thursday, so I have to go. Do I? Yeah.
So with that being said, thank you so much for listening. Go follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channels, go follow Lily. If you want to like plug your Instagram one more final time.
This is so sad.
This was so fun. I loved
like
this.
I feel like every time I have a guest, I'm gonna have like post-guest depression of
Oh
like
my God.
not
The way I'm
having
just
the
like
guest
sitting here on
again.
FaceTime,
I mean,
like
we
in
will
a
have you on
dark
again,
room.
but
Like if you could see the room again, like wow, English. Me literally correcting myself. Okay. If you could see me just sitting in my messy room right now in the dark compared to like you guys just in the light with the things set up.
the juxtaposition.
Oh my gosh, vocabulary.
Um,
So thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week because we upload every not up or like upload whatever. We release launch every Tuesday. So
launch
come back
post.
then. Okay, we'll see you
Yeah.
then. Goodbye.
Bye, and thanks
Bye.
Lily for being on the episode.
Thanks
Yes.
for having me.
See you later.
Outro music.